Alright, it's Chun Chun here, and for today's we're gonna talk about the topics to own a million property, which means with standard model. That for this model actually for you is you want to buy a property to hold and rent it for someone else and then generate cash flow. Then actually inside this book actually got a standard model, which means that the first one you need to know. You need to purchase a property, which means that below market price, 20% below the market price, which means you can get 20% discount. That's the first thing. Then you can prepare 20% down payment for it. So you need to make sure your property that you purchase or you invest the property, so they can gain the price minimum 5% annually appreciation for the price of the property, and the rent also will increase accordingly. So you need to know the demand there, and I'm gonna make sure that place people gonna rent it also. So after that, how to calculate the rent that is in with this formula standard model? How can you know the rent whether it's good or not? Which means their calculation like this. For example, your property price is 100k, so you use your property price, you multiply by 0.8%. For example, 100k property multiplied by 0.8%, so which means every month is 800 for you to rent it for someone else. That's a standard way for this book. Gary Keller said, want to know the rental. So after that, you know your rental, so you know your rate of rental you're going to rent out. The cost of the rental cannot be exceeding 40%. So which means cost 40%. So every month you maintain it. Maybe got something want to repair, everything else you need to maintain the cost also. And then the loan is standard way for 30 years loan. So their interest rate about 7% up and down. So remember, 20% discount, 20% down payment, 5% annual increase, the appreciation and the rental appreciation also, and the rental rate. Make sure from your value of property multiply by 0.8%, you know your monthly rental rate. After that, your cost is maintained at 40%, which means loan and then 7%. Continue with that. Alright, after that, let's say you luckily and then you get a property to invest. So when you want to go into the investment place, actually anything can be negotiated. So everything can be very flexible. Not just you go and purchase a property, then you make the loan and then you sign an SPA. That's called simple way. Because no matter with the price, financing cost, closing rate, everything can be negotiated. Because the deal is people, so we can communicate and get a better deal, which means that they come out with some financing cost, which means the first is owner financing, which means you want to purchase that property, but you cannot loan from bank. Actually, let's say the owner is very rich or wealthy, you can loan from the owner straight away, which means that every month, maybe you purchase a property, how much the value, so you spread it, every month you pay for the owner. That's also can, but must come up with a contract with lawyers, so you can have advice from lawyers. So make a contract with, first need a contract. And then the second one is assumption method, which means that before that the seller actually purchased the property is from other people's, got other people mortgage for him, so you continue buy it and then you pay their commitment, you pay their mortgage with you as a new owner pay for it. That's the second one. Then the third one is reps. Reps meaning the owner, the seller, actually that they still own bank but not much more. Maybe you go and purchase their property and then new loan, they cover their loan before that, and then you continue to paying the loan for you, and then you rent it out for somewhere else. That's called rep. And then for lease option, which means that you want to purchase a property, but first you lease first, but you already came up with a contract. Maybe in 2 to 5 years, you're gonna purchase with a certain price. Slowly you lease. After that, after 5 years, you purchase it. That's called lease option. What about private second? Private second, which means that it's for some people that they're not enough down payment when they find a great deal, so maybe they can loan with bank or they use personal loan as a down payment for it. That's called private second. Syndication, which means you find a group of people who want to invest, maybe your friends, your investor, so you invest together, make the loan together and invest the property. Because a lot of people, they try away, a few people, 1, 2, 3, 4 people together buy a house, then fix it, sell it, flipping also can be like that. So inside this 6 method, I need to remember and telling you that for something like credit, you need to know it's like a knife. Knife for us easily to cut something else, but you need to be careful. If not, you cut your hand also. So when you're using a knife, make sure you know what thing you need to cut. If not, you're gonna cut your hand. Remember, anything about credit, use it wisely and carefully. Alright, after that, you own the property already. So when you rent to someone else, make sure you follow the rules of inside this book. What Gary told you is value multiplied by 0.8% from your, you know, your rate of every month. Then maintain your cost about 40%, not exceeding it for people. But you need to look at the value also, because for the place you need to make it nice so that people will come and rent for you, right? So you need to give value to others. Maybe you can do it very simple way and with the budget way, with the minimum cost, so you provide the great value for your tenant also, so you keep your tenant well. Just for example. And then when you purchase the property, which means you want to purchase and rent for someone else, that's better you find, actually you make sure in that place you can get the tenant first before you buy it. Not day later you go and buy it and then you cannot find any tenant. Oh, you're gonna pay the mortgage every month. So make sure you need to make sure the place with the high demand of people gonna rent there, and then you purchase the property, so you got tenant, process the cash flow for you. Remember, so after you have your property, so you have option for property disposition, which means that maybe you want to sell a property, or you want to make it change to other place, or you don't want your investment already. The first method, you can go with what we call this option out. This option out is same like you purchase with someone else with the option, which means you find a people they actually like your property, so you list for them first. Maybe after 5 years you sell for them with the higher price, which means after 5 years will appreciate. Then this method must be have come up with contract, and then you're gonna have contract lawyer paying for you, so you can sell a better price. Everything must be remembered. You need to come up with a contract that's better for you to control the deal. And for the rent also, it's very, very important for people who want to rent your house also, because if you with a contract, you can collect more deposit, you can have protect yourself also. Because if let's say you rent for someone doing something illegal, you can protect yourself also, which means you just a tenant and you rent it out for them. That's very important. And for people, actually, if suddenly sometimes you want to do business, you want to cash to do some business or do another investment, but you don't want to sell your property, so you can make refinance. For example, if you purchase a property that is 1 million, you already pay it out about 500k, so you can refinance out your property and then do something else. But you remember, you're gonna pay it when you refinance it. When you pay, you already pay for 15 years, so you refinance it, become 30 years again, you get to pay it. So make sure refinance, you use it wisely. Then you're gonna sell it. This is the standard models from this book, what I call Millionaire Real Estate Investor. So hope you use it wisely and success in the future. Alright, see you next time.